What's your pleasure, Mr. Cotton?
The box.
Take it. It's yours. It always was.
It's yours, it always was. And blood seeps through the floor, she will lust. A demon to some, an angel to others. Explore us on your day of judgment. We belong to each other now. Some things just have to be endured. They won't find us not in the whole wide world. One more body and I'll be whole, feasting on the blood of souls. Don't you recognize me, beautiful? 'Cause you can't run and you can't hide. We'll search through heaven and hell to find your souls are scared, so we will bed. If you bring us back, we'll let you live. So what is it that you desire? Is a painful pleasure? Turn on fire, hooks and chains will eat your heart and tear your fucking soul apart. Oh yeah. You can go to hell, but not alone. Painted the face and all its sights you'll be shown.
How the fuck are we doing out there in lockdown land, horror fans? I'm so sorry that we've all put ourselves in this situation. But nonetheless, we shall continue our creepy episodes for you. This one is our prom night live stream. And holy shit, boils and ghouls, do we have a surprise for you featuring Paul fucking Lynch, the director of Prom Night, 1980s fucking Prom Night. Paul Lynch, he also directed Humongous Bullies, amongst other things. And joining him, Bruce Pittman, the director of Prom Night 2, Hello, Mary Lou, one of my favorite sequels ever. This guy here tonight, live, stream, both of them, from our StreamYard. We can't get together. This shit is getting out of control. A lockdown. Wash your hands. Isolate. Stay home. Crack that drink or that pizza or whatever you're doing tonight. Because also, we've got the Phoenix Fire, who is not only running the show behind the scenes, you know what I mean, but he will be performing some death-defying, hopefully, stunts for you this evening as well. Also, Taya Munster from Night Chill, one of our favorite ghouls from our favorite bands. Love those fuckers. Check them out at Night Chill on Instagram. Corey Gorski, my main human, who wrote this book. Rick Junk's going to be interviewing him tonight about VHS collecting. What the fuck else, right? Some really cool shit tonight, guys. We've got some ads, some giveaways, some promo stuff, some music for you. The guys are going to show up. So, hey, without further ado, welcome to Prom Night Lockdown 2.
This is Trioxin.
novels that, well, I love, but frankly, 700 pages, I'm asleep after the first 20. So this book, VHS Collecting, it's really fucking cool. Corey Gorski, a personal friend of mine, wrote it. He's fucking here. He's going to answer some questions about this cool book, which you should read start to finish because you have the time. Over to you, Rip.
Hey, yeah, that's right. Rip Junk, Blood Opera, and we love our VHS here at Blood Opera Inc. Oh, yeah, and tonight we have a very special treat. Avid musician, tape collector, author, and friend of the band, Corey Gorski. Hey, what's up, Corey?
Hey, Rip Junk, what's up?
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And I wanted to get to your book, but first I gotta ask, because Max was telling me the story about how he met you at the back of Eyesore Cinema here in Toronto. Yeah, the back, they had this VHS swap, and you did this raffle, and he won the prize that you were giving away. It was an Astral video, stand to put your VHS on. Yeah, man, that's fucking rad. I'm so jealous. Anyway, but my question is, how did you get involved with those amazing people at Eyesore Cinema? They're awesome. Seriously, you check them out. It's the only place to really get your fix in town. So yeah, how did you get involved with them? And what do you think of the local, VHS collecting community?
Yeah, I remember for those who don't know, I threw a swap last year at Eyesore Cinema in downtown Toronto. And yeah, it was a blast. I was pretty shocked by how many people came out in the community. Not even just the VHS collecting community, but just random people who were interested in seeing piles and boxes of tapes everywhere. Some people who even showed up and just had water coolers full of tapes that they were seeing if they could sell, if it was worth anything. Actually, some people made out like bandits. Some people, found some pretty good deals there too. It was a blast. I was really happy with the turnout.
As I had mentioned, you're not only an author, but also a musician. You play the keyboard and some synth and shit. That's wicked, bro. You ever cover any horror movie soundtracks? For us, horror and music are inseparable. I mean, how about you? Does your music go hand in hand with your writing as well?
I mean, I started playing music when I was younger, like a lot of people, and yeah, definitely horror and soundtracks and music all kind of intertwine. I mean, with scary movies, I mean, so much of the atmosphere and emotion is tied into the sound and the soundtrack and the sound design, and it creates the mood and atmosphere. And so, I mean, I don't know. I guess years and years of watching that, a lot of that sunk in, and the two definitely are inseparable in many ways. And yeah, it's pretty reflective in everything I do, and it's where a lot of the darker emotion lies within life.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, we love our VHS here at Blood Opera, and quite a few of our fans do too. And well, there's one particular fan, Max. He was a little bit, how should we say, surprised that you had left off Vestron Pictures from your top 10 most popular distributors. Care to comment?
Yeah, I wrote in the book, I could only really focus on I think it was 10 different VHS distribution companies, and I wish I could have done more. Sorry if I didn't get to the ones you love, but guess what? Some people have actually contacted me and said if I was interested in helping them sort of flesh out some books on individual distribution companies. Some names were thrown around. I don't want to say which companies, but if there's some history on them, if there's a way to get more info, yeah, there's some people who are interested in that sort of thing. So it might actually happen.
Okay, I'm sure Max, or the fan, will be satisfied with that answer. Now, fans out there, I mean, if you are looking for a nostalgic overload on the best kind of media that ever was, you have to check out Corey's book, VHS Collecting. We're talking about it. Now, we all grew up with like, Blockbuster Video, Rogers Video, Jumbo Video. You mentioned that there's still a Blockbuster operating like today?
Yeah, there's one lone Blockbuster left, one left, and it's in Bend, Oregon. It's now privately owned, and it kind of sells. They're not renting out tapes, but it's pretty much what you think. Like it sells film swag and DVDs. I think they do rent DVDs. And something of interest, just a couple months ago, they did they opened it up for Airbnb. Yeah, like really, like it was kind of a marketing ploy in a way, but they actually did where they put a bed in the back and you could rent out the whole video store for the night, which is badass. I mean, hey, I would do that if it was in my city. I love to see stuff like that, and I'm sure a lot of people into the nostalgia of old video stores would be all about that sort of thing. Oh, and also, if you remember Jumbo Video in Toronto, there are still Jumbo Videos left. I believe there's one in London, Ontario. So yeah, similar idea. Check that out.
Jumbo Video in London? No way! Shit, I gotta look that up. And fuck yeah, that Blockbuster thing, man, me and the band, that would be awesome to rent that place for a weekend, let me tell you. No, Corey, you seem like a pretty level-headed, calm, rational human being, I gotta say. But hey, this between you and me, this is just, Corey and Rip here, all right? Between you and me, which VHS would you kill someone for?
What tapes would I kill somebody for? I don't know. I don't think I. Well, yeah, okay, maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Astral. I don't have that one. I do, however, have Canadian and American big box of The Deadly Spawn, which fan favorite, personal favorite of mine. The Canadian release and the Continental big box. And I also, on the other side of the spectrum, I have a Genesis release of Night of Horror, which looks terrifying, but is actually one of the worst, in my opinion, the worst horror movie ever made. And usually the people who disagree with me are people who haven't actually watched it from beginning to end. So if you want to see something cool, monster movie, watch The Deadly Spawn. And if you want to see something terrible, hit up or look for Night of Horror. It's not a night of horror, but check it out anyway.
Oh, shit, yeah, I gotta check those out, man. Goddamn, I'll be hitting you up, Eyesore. All right, we got one more question for you, Corey. This one's actually from a fan. It's from Sheila. Oh, Sheila. Yeah, she's from Viagra Balls, baby. And she writes, hey, Corey, Savini's Prowler and Wizard Texas Chainsaws are all right. All right, I'll say they're all right. You mentioned Demon Wind and even Microwave Massacre. Oh, yeah. But what about Driller Killer? Parasite? Inn of the Damned? Oh, this is a good one. Oh, also, P.S., do you have a meta Halloween I could buy from you? Oh, fuck. Get in line, bitch. What do you say, Corey?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many tapes that, there's literally thousands of horror movies that came out in the late 1970s to early 2000s on tape, all the way to about 2006. I don't have a copy of Meta Halloween to buy, but actually interesting story, because just back in Halloween, you know how Value Village, like they take the end caps and when there's a holiday or something, they'll fill it up with like Christmas time, they'll put up the Christmas DVDs and Christmas soundtracks. Well, at Halloween, they put all their Halloween stuff, and I found a copy of Halloween on media, which was something I didn't have, and snagged that. Perfect timing.
You hear that, Sheila? This man is an authority for a reason. Okay, well, thank you so much, Corey, for dropping by and doing this for us. I mean, hopefully one day we can work together soon. I'm thinking maybe, in the band's tell-all autobiography, the story of Blood Opera. Here's a spoiler. Max Explosion, Supreme Prima Donna. But yeah, anyway, thanks again, Corey. Let the folks know, how can they pick up a copy of your book, and what more they'll be able to discover when they read it.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if I could, I will just give a little quick cheap plug to my book, which is VHS Collecting: The Modern Relevance of Home Video, available on Amazon.com. Thanks a lot for having me.
VHS Collecting by Corey Gorski is available now, so pick up your copy. I'm telling you, it's a real page turner. Can't put it down. Can't put it down. Thanks again so much, Corey. We appreciate it. And now for a little music of the night. Oh yeah, Brad.
Hey, look on the live streaming. How we doing, guys? Great, man. You all ready for prom? Oh, yeah, looking good, guys. I missed you. Holy shit, yeah, you're all ready for prom. You guys, oh boy, you guys have got some dates for the prom. I mean, I don't know where you're going, but you're looking good. Dick Demons, how you doing? You ready to rock and roll or what there, buddy?
Yeah, Max, I'm feeling dead sexy tonight. I've been exercising my buns off for the last 9 months, and tonight I am asking my mom to the prom, and I am not taking no for an answer.
She better say yes, Mr. Demons. Hey, Rip Junk, you are looking mighty well candlelit there. How you doing, pal?
Well, I'm not so bad. I'm still getting over the fact that, Dick's mom turned me down for prom. I wish you luck, Dick. I wish you all the luck in the world.
She's going with somebody else, I guess.
For another reason lately. I'll tell you why. But I've been cheered right up because I got these new dreads. Check it out, baby. Blood Opera. You got this on the camera? Oh.
What is that? What you got there?
I suck at this. There it is, Blood Opera. Oh, the hoodie. It's a fucking sweet ass hoodie. You find it on the Bandcamp, man. Blood Opera.
Oh yeah, shameless self promotion. Love that, Rip. And Lackey Jawless. Oh boy, how you doing? We heard you moved. Yeah, and how's that going for you? Is it a bit better? Yeah, okay. Well, we won't get you to elaborate because we're running out of time. We got to make this quick. Vivian, you're looking pretty fucking good tonight, pal. Who you asking to the prom?
Oh, Max, it's not who you ask, it's who you come home with.
Oh, clever. That's true. Well, I hope that none of you are coming home with anyone because you should be staying at home, right, guys?
All right.
We've got some pretty cool stuff tonight, guys. I hope that you are as excited as I am. We've got some live music, Phoenix Fire. Oh my God, Taya from Night Show. So many things, including interviews with the directors of Prom Night 1 and 2, obviously, and I've got some giveaways. So you guys know that we normally do freaky fun fact trivia for no fucking reason, right?
I think so.
Yeah, we've done that. We've been known to do that. So tonight's prize is a very special edition North Star Prom Night 2 Hello Mary Lou. If you weren't watching in the run-up and the ads and the promos to this show, then you'll find out why this copy is so fucking special. Also, the winner of tonight's trivia question will get a Blood Opera rag and tag t-shirt. I can't hold it up very well. From Mean Screens, so you can support your favorite band of the living dead. Okay, pay attention. Our trivia question tonight is, since it's prom night, in the original film, the 1980 Prom Night, directed by Paul Lynch, the killer was Alex, right? And he made a lot of phone calls, if you know what I'm saying, to the people that he wanted to kill. My question tonight is, who of his, the people he wanted to kill never picked up the phone? Who never picked up comment in the comments. I don't think it's below. I think it's to the side now for your chance to win. Who never picked up the phone? First to answer correctly wins our blood opera shit. Okay, so without further ado, we've got, yeah, we'll take him to prom. So, we've got some really cool things tonight. Even Lackey apparently has hired someone to serenade us, but we'll get to that a bit later. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we get this shit started?
I just want to wish everyone the best prom ever.
Aww.
Amen.
Okay, well, that's enough out of these freaks. Let's get to it. Drop the bomb, Phoenix.
Without further residue. The moment you've all been waiting for. I know I've been waiting for it. The Phoenix Fire. Check this guy out. He's got a thing called the Stranger Danger Thrill Show. Holy shit! We've been fiends with him for a while now. He does some crazy stuff, and somehow this motherfucker is still alive. So, take it away, Mr. Christopher Campbell. The Phoenix Fire.
Hey everybody, I'm Phoenix Fire from the Stranger Danger Thrill Show, and we're gonna have a little fun tonight with a stunt I enjoy a lot. And it involves a game that I played as a kid when I was a wee little Phoenix Fire. And my mom said, hey, Phoenix Fire, go play a game. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go play a game, because that's what my mom called me, Phoenix Fire. And, well, she didn't really, but, you know. But this game that I like to play is actually like this. So you would put this little ring on, and you would run it over, and, it would buzz. And every time you touch the steel, it would buzz. And I have shaky hands, so it was buzzing all the time. But one thing with this game, and it is a Stranger Danger Thrill Show, so there's no danger to that. And, we should rectify that and have a game with consequences. So we're going to replicate that game of consequences. And if you notice here, I have a Tesla coil here. You can see it lights up that bulb. So that Tesla coil is running. And there's a rule with the Tesla coil. They should never, ever touch them. So just like that game, we're going to have fun taking a maze inside Phoenix Fire's brain. And it goes a little like this. So what I'm going to do is pick up this Tesla coil, and we're going to do a blockhead style. The blockhead is basically the ability to stick stuff inside your brain. Now, if I touch this Tesla coil and the corona to the sides of my nose, I'm going to get a huge shock. So I don't want to do that. So, are you guys ready? Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Phoenix Fire Stranger Danger Games with Consequences. See you next time.
This is Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, host of Python's Paradise, also a co-producer on 13 Fanboy, Victim No More, and cameo in numerous James Balsamo films. Folks, I host Python's Paradise, where I interview with the very best in cult film and music, including guests like Tommy Wiseau, Ralph Bakshi, Lisa Langlois, Adrian Barbeau, Vanessa Angel, Caroline Monroe, and I was one of the very last to interview the legendary Dick Miller. If music is your thing, we go back to the 80s with Tony Basil, Tiffany, Gord Lewis of Teenage Head. We even go to our recents like Blood Opera, who I met at Horror Rama in Toronto, one of my favorite conventions. And of course, I interviewed 3 of the Blues Brothers band. And if nostalgia is your thing, I've interviewed some of the loved ones of some of your favorite cult film artists, including Alfred Hitchcock, Ray Harryhausen, Audrey Hepburn, Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and Zoe Tamerlis Lund of Miss 45 fame, one of my very favorites. So check out Python's Paradise. See who has come into the paradise. See who has come in to chat with yours truly. You want the very best in cult film and music? Python's Paradise. Join me.
Oh boy, do we miss live music, if you know what I mean. Going out doing anything but disgracing the stage with our fiends in bands like the likes of Night Chill is something that we miss the most. So, here tonight, we've got Taya Munster from fucking Night Chill. Man, this ghoul, whoo! You know, she started the Toronto Zombie Walk years ago, an old friend of George A. Romero, if you know what I'm talking about. And now she's playing the theremin better than fucking anyone I've heard, doing, you know, from 1950s Creature of the Black Lagoon type horror to kind of 80s stuff, theremin horror soundtrack covers. Amazing. She dresses up. She does the whole part. Oh my gosh, she put a Mars Attacks wig on one time. I almost fucking died again. Welcome back, Miss Taya Munster. How are you, Taya?
Motherfucker! Give me back my fucking gun! That wasn't even your cat. Oh, fuck that. Oh.
Holy shit! I just want to thank both of you legend scary directors for being here with us tonight. We're going to start with you, Mr. Pittman. Word on the street is that you are born and bred Torontonian. What do you have to say about Toronto? Anything that, helped influence you in your career, in your as a horror fan and director? We love this city. What do you think about it?
Well, that's right. I was born in Toronto, and the thing about being in Toronto and about being in Canada, you have to remember that the elephant in the room culturally is the United States. So everything you grew up on, including horror films, were the same things I grew up with. And there may be a Canadian sensibility, but basically, culturally, we're exactly the same. So all the things that you saw growing up, the influence of the horror films and so forth, are exactly the same as me.
Well, I guess the main difference is that we were brought up on the shit from the 80s, those remakes, not these 2000s remakes. Oh, whatever. Anyway, my next question is for Mr. Lynch. How you doing, Mr. Lynch? Apparently, we may have pissed on the same trees growing up. The director of Prom Night, ladies and gentlemen, fucking grew up in Oakville, the little shitty suburb, no offense, of Oakville of Toronto, Oakville, Ontario. What do you think about that? You a fan of Oakville? Where'd you go to school? That's where I'm from, Paul.
I was born in Liverpool before the Beatles, moved to Canada in 1954, and spent a little time in Toronto by High Park. And then my father moved the family, my brother and my brother and my sister, to Oakville, where we grew up. It was a great town. I went to Pine Grove School. Apparently you did too. I went to Blakelock for a year and then over to Purdue. And we couldn't have been luckier. I grew up there earlier than you did. I think you were there about 10 or 15 years after me. I dropped out of school at grade 9 because I just didn't get what teachers were trying to do. They all seemed like hopeless to me. So I left at grade 9. I had my comic strip in the Toronto Star and thought from there on, I'll go and try being an artist and what have you, and was lucky enough, and luck plays a great part in life, to be able to make my way through the system. And along the way, got caught up in photography and what have you. And that led to me being able to save enough money to make an independent film. A documentary which I sold to the CBC in '67.
Bruce, I've got somebody that wants to talk with you. Hi, my name's Michael Ironside. How did you did? I was in Prom Night too, and a bunch of other movies.
Oh, yeah. Huh? Oh, look it. It's a guy in a Michael Ironside mask.
Okay, well, so, Bruce, my next question is for you. So, I've heard people say that, like, the original screenplay for Hello, Mary Lou
was very different than kind of what ended up happening at the end. Like that they added some more gore scenes and stuff like that. Is this true? How different was it from the original? Like what you guys had, kind of talked about. Ron Oliver, you and him, best friends. What you got to say about that?
Well, the word on the street is wrong because the finished film is very close to the original script, which Ron Oliver wrote, and was the main reason I wanted to do the film because it was a very good script. The only change basically was in the ending, which was filmed after the film was complete, and something to suggest that there might be sequels. Now, Ron was there throughout the filming, which was done in Edmonton, and after we viewed and selected the locations, we sat down and adjusted the script to suit the locations, and we also consulted, of course, with the special effects people to design all the various murders which could happen in and around the school and at the various locations around town. So it was very much a collaborative effort between Ron, the writer, myself as director, special effects department, and of course the whole crew. And I was very determined to make sure that when we did the film, the murders would be done in camera. I think the only effect we used was when Brock gets electrocuted his computer. Everything else was done in camera, and we had great fun designing and setting that up. So in terms of who's responsible, it was very much a collaborative effort with everyone putting in ideas and trying to get the best results possible.
So then, obviously, Prom Night already had some crazy Toronto connections. But I mean, the movie, the first scene in the movie, you're seeing the American flagpole. This is not the first scene. One of the, earlier on in the film, you're seeing the American flagpole, but it's called Hamilton High. It was filmed at Don Mills Collegiate. So you called it Hamilton High. What was that? Just because you guys were Canadian and you wanted to send that love, but you had to make it look American for the big screen? What's the story about that?
In 1979, when we were making Prom Night, Canada was still kind of a boondock country. And Norman Jewison said, no matter what films we turned out from 1970 on, basically, whether they were successful or not, they showed Canada, the world. They got distributed all over, and they showed Canada to the world. And that started to change Canada. And it changed in a very small, strange way. When I first came to LA in the early 70s, they used to say Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now they say Toronto, Canada.
Speaking of collaborations, Paul, we heard that originally Prom Night was supposed to be a slasher movie about a killer doctor or fucking gynecologist, apparently. And then you met with Urban Yagan of Halloween fame, and apparently he swayed you to go down the road of making a holiday themed movie, which is kind of where you went to the Prom Night thing. Is this true? What would Prom Night have been if it had been a killer gynecologist?
I had gone to see Irwin Yablans because back in 78, you could literally, if you had a little bit of credential, just a little bit. I had a film that was very successful in Canada, two of them actually, but hadn't really traveled much. One of them had been distributed in the States. But I called up Irwin Yablans and he said, fine, I'll be happy to talk to you. And I can't do that today, but back then you could, thank goodness. And so I went to see him. And I took him an idea I had because I had made two quite successful critically and one financially films, Blood and Guts and Hard Part Begins, one about a country singer and one about wrestlers. And it predated the success, the mega success of wrestling, which has happened today. But this was all back in the mid 70s. So I took my wrestling film to see him and I knew that I had to pitch him something, and he'd made Halloween. So I thought a horror film would be good. So I took one in, and having been an artist, I did in those days, like there was several people at AIP, they would get the campaign with an outline and then go to see AIP, and AIP would see the marketing potential, and then they would make the film. So I thought, okay, I will do this. And so I took him an ad campaign for Don't See the Doctor. And it was a doctor looking with a light on his head, looking right into the camera, looking very ominous. with Don't See the Doctor. And the tagline was, what happens if your gynecologist cracks? So he looked at it. He said, well, great ad, looked interesting, but I don't think it's for the female audience. And besides which, have you got anything for holidays? So on the spot, I said, Thanksgiving. He said, no, that's not good, too bloody. But he said, look, think about it. And I like your ad, get back to me. So I said, okay. So I was driving from his office, which was on Sunset, and I passed the first motel I stayed in, the Sunset Doheny. It's not there anymore. It was a great little motel. And on the roof of it was an ad for after six formals. And it said, after six formals for your prom night. I thought, well, that sounds interesting. That's an event. That's a kind of a holiday date, and it's got a good sounding prom and night together. So I went home and I sat down and I worked out an outline for the basics. Now, before I could get back to see Irwin, who went the next day, who I called quite excited, had left town for New York and wasn't going to be back for a week. A producer I had met, a Canadian producer, I had talked to her about it, and she invited me, before I could get to Irwin, to go to a reception for, thank goodness, the Liberal government's program for film, the Canadian Film Development Corporation. And they were having a get-together in Century City. And the man who ran it was brilliant. He put big money behind promoting the movies, and he had this party for a lot of people. It was an Asian restaurant, I remember. And while I was there, I ran into Peter Simpson and his brother. So I introduced them to Diane, and she said, Paul's got this new idea, and I talked to them about it. And they said, look, before you go back and see Irwin, this was on a Friday, before you go back and see Irwin, come and see us on Monday. Fine. So I went and saw them on Monday, the fastest deal, I think, in the history of film. By Tuesday, we had a deal.
Oh my God. Okay. So then I gotta ask you, Mr. Lynch, what was inspiration to you? What films, what directors were your inspiration? There was Black Christmas and Don't Answer the Phone. And was this the dawning of the prank phone call slasher? And it feels like it was to me. Can you touch on that?
Well, earlier on, my key influences were just two. Stanley Kubrick, because of his early films, his thrillers, and I was never a huge fan of Spartacus, but I was of Lolita, which I think is probably one of his best films, and then Sidney Furie, who was Canadian. Those were my two key influences. But then in horror, what truly terrified me, and still is one of the great films ever, was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Last House on the Left. Two guys who really knew the genre and knew what they were doing. And I was so impressed by them. That's what got me thinking about doing a horror film. And John Carpenter. And John Carpenter's Halloween is up there with them. I mean, he was kind of the third in the row.
All right, back to you, Bruce. We got another one from one of the big Prom Night 2 Hello, Mary Lou fans out there. There's a lot of pretty women in this movie. Okay, but seriously, a lot of these women, they were doing full frontal scenes. Like, she was walking around half of that movie, killing motherfuckers totally naked in her birthday suit. You know what I mean? Were they cool with all of this? Like, they were young actors, and it was kind of, a little bit passe. What was it like kind of working with these actors that got all riled up, and there was so much, cruelty and sexual innuendo and just overtly sexual scenes? Like, what was that like?
In terms of the nudity and sexuality, well, that goes hand in glove with doing teenage horror films. And it was done on a professional basis. Everyone agreed to what we were doing and how we were going to film it. And we went ahead and did it, and there was no problems whatsoever. And the cast was absolutely terrific. We took a long time to get the right people in the right role. And we did a lot of casting in Edmonton, which turned out to have a lot of very fine actors. And all in all, we just had a great time shooting the film. And I'm glad everyone still likes it all these years.
And it's crazy, because then you got, the original. Mr. Lynch, let me ask, the original was the complete opposite of that. There was barely any blood and nudity at all compared to number 2. And you know, that's fine, but it actually had a PG rating. Like, was that so let me ask you this, Paul, was that the goal of the first one, to give you kind of that original horror feeling? I know a lot of really cool, amazing horror films that really, you know, they don't need that blood, they don't need that gore, they don't need that nudity, because they've got that crazy story behind them. Not to say that we don't love boobs, but you know what I mean? Like, what was the deal? It originally had a PG rating. Am I mistaken?
Well, the imagination is far superior to anything you can show. Imagining something that is set up for you is way more horrifying than anything you could see.
19 fucking 80, Paul. What a year, right? Holy shit. Horror absolutely taken off. It already kind of started, but now it's really, you know, getting a grip with everyone here. And huge films that year. The Changeling, keeping to that murder mystery type shit. You know, zombies are going off in a different direction with The Fog and things like that. Cannibalism, huge, with Cannibal Holocaust and Motel Hell already coming out making fun of that stuff. Holiday themed slashers, like we mentioned before, with like Terror Train, Into All a Good Night. Oh my God, one of my favorite White Stripes ever. You know, and camping slashers, like that big one that came out in 1980, Friday the 13th. You know, that little movie with Jason Voorhees. So, you know, and originally Paramount was apparently supposed to pick up Prom Night, and that didn't happen. It kind of went to Embassy because they filmed more seats for you guys and all that stuff. Do you think that Paramount was trying to steal Prom Night's thunder a bit? But, you know, the underwear from under your pants, so to speak, were they trying to steal your guys' thunder with releasing Friday the 13th, this huge movie the same year? I mean, no one knew it was going to be big. Same with Prom Night, obviously, cult status now. But do you think they were trying to pull that shit over your eyes, or was it just all fun and games?
No, it's very simple. Embassy made a bid on the film, and so did Paramount. They both wanted it. But the deal that Peter F. Simpson got from Avco was a far superior deal, money-wise, than he could get from Paramount, because Paramount was basically playing we're the big guys kind of game. So when Embassy took it out, it was a hugely successful financial film for the investors, as well as for Embassy.
And there you have it. Horror fans, Prom Night 1, 2. Hello, Mary Lou fans. Thank you so much, Paul Lynch, Bruce Pittman. We cannot thank you from the bottom of where our hearts used to be for you guys being here tonight with us. We know this is super weird lockdown special. We got to do it from the safety of our own crypts. But, you know, it's okay. We're happy. We're safe. Thank you for being here, guys. Everybody, Bruce Pittman, Paul Lynch, say thank you to these epic directors.
So, thanks for dropping by, and it was great talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your interest.
Bye, gentlemen. Now back to some music. From our quarantine to yours, donations can be made at Mr.Cooper@live.ca. You see him collecting, always wanting more. Each movie and sequel signed by all the stars. They never suspect that he would kill them all. He made them a movie they never seen before.
I'm here to entertain you. And we're going to start off by, I'm kind of hungry. And in Sideshow, we do some weird stuff with food. And I'm going to warm up my food here, and you can see. Oh, yeah, warming up my food there. Nice bit of electricity running through the body here. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to grab my trusty napkin here. It's seen many a light bulb, I'll tell you. And, well, what's that?
Well, I know you like things spicy, so this is the world's hottest gummy bear, Little Nitro.
The world's hottest gummy bear,
Yeah,
Little Nitro.
Yeah, 9 million Scoville units, 900 times hotter than the jalapeno pepper.
Wow. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to say 5 pieces.
Yeah, that sounds good. You're hungry.
All right. And I'm going to, ooh, do I really want this?
Liven it up for you a little.
Spice it up a little. Oh, it's hot already. There's hotter ones. There's the gummy bears, and they're hotter enough. So they're hot enough for what we want it for.
You better wash that down or something.
I better wash that down. Let's get rid of that glass. And, is this real Windex? Can you make sure that's real?
Yeah.
So I shouldn't do this. Kids, don't try this at home, okay? And I get you to put that over there. The taste isn't getting out of my mouth. I'm going to use some pine salt. Here, smell that. I know it's your favorite smell. That's an irritant. I shouldn't have done that. Here, put that over there. You want to pour it in the... Man, I can't get this heat just aside. Here, let me just try and cool my tongue off. No, that didn't do it all. Well, I think I'm just gonna have to suck it up while we do this next stunt. And what the next stunt is, well, I've got a timer and it's set at 15 seconds. And there's a sledgehammer over there, and I got a cement block, and I got some stuff. I got some chains here, and right there, this is an embalming machine. And let's use my hat here. Oh, look at that needle. That's like I totally. Well, you know what I can do is I can do this, and I think this needle can go on my neck and my nose. Here, let's get this ready here. All right. Where's the key? All right. So let's throw it around my neck. Lunch in there. I got some teeth food. And, well, we're going to take these and, well, let's put this in my nose. Oh. Okay. And let's get these in my eyes. And what's going to happen is I have to escape and get out of these locks before 15 seconds is up. And well,
you make a little pretty.
You make me a little pretty, and
Yeah.
will that make my head not move so much?
Probably.
I don't think I look pretty. That was scary. Oh. So what's going to happen is you're going to grab that sledgehammer, and when that counter gets to 15 seconds, you're going to let me know every 5-10 seconds, and I got to get out of here. Can you do that?
I can do that.
All right. Let's just...
The magic button?
The magic button. On 3. 1. Oh, and you know what? There's going to be Pine Sol, and you got to put the Windex and Pine Sol in there.
Oh my goodness.
You got to put it. Okay, guys. Now I got to get my head out of here before she slams that sledgehammer down, and I can't move. So, ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
5. 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Phoenix Fire. Thanks for having me out. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all for tuning in from your crypts, your tombs, whatever you may be. Because, you know, we miss you guys, and, well, this was really fucking cool. So thank you to Paul fucking Lynch, Bruce Pittman, Phoenix Fire, holy shit, Taya Munster from Night Chill, Corey Gorski, everyone behind the scenes, Return of the Living Thread, everyone helping promote us here. We love you guys. Stay tuned for what's next. And please, wash your hands, stay home, don't go out, and wear a costume.